Howdy boys, it's NPC and today we're going to be customizing the Pegassi Zentorno, a classic that I'm sure everyone who has played GTA Online knows of. I haven't customized this car since it got some updated customization, and I'm really excited to see what it has to offer, so let's dive in. First up we have our armor and brakes, of course, and then for our bumpers we have the custom, street, and race. I'm kind of liking the street one. I think that's a good in-between because the custom's too small and the race is too big, so I like the street. For the rear bumper, all we have is the painted rear trim, and that's perfectly okay. For a chassis, we have either the carbon one or primary and secondary. I'm thinking the move is probably to go with secondary since I know there's a lot of secondary accenting on this vehicle. For our engine, we're going to max that out. For the exhaust, let's see, we've got some twin bores. Oh my god, they're all such big exhaust. This is lazy, come on. This is ripped straight off the Thrax. I'm a little disappointed if I'm gonna be completely honest. I think Rockstar could have done a much better job, but it is what it is. I think we're gonna go with the hyper exit exhaust because it, I don't know, it's so big is the only thing. Maybe we'll go with the twin bores instead. I just wanted to match the hexagon shape on the back of the vehicle, but whatever. For the front, we can paint the grille trim, and we're gonna do that. For our hood, we can make it clean, street stripe, a race hood. That looks pretty aggressive, and the Pegassi hood. Yeah, we're gonna go with the Pegassi hood. It's just built for this. I actually really like the clean one as well on the front, but I think the car is already pretty menacing looking, very aggressive, so we can just roll with that and go with the Pegassi hood, and it's not gonna be a big issue. For lights, we're gonna zine on those. Then for a livery, I know there's some new liveries. Okay, the Harlequin alt. The only thing is, I just feel like that kind of gray doesn't match up with anything else, so it's gonna look funky no matter what. This one looks sick. What? The Mindmot Racing. Wow. Okay. I really like these. I actually really like the Mindmot Racing livery, so I kind of want to roll with that and see what we can do with it. For our plate, we're gonna go with yellow on black, of course, and then onto a respray. My crew color is like a minty green, and I think it looks super good. We'll keep that one in our back pocket for now. I kind of want to play around with a few more of the colors before we commit. Of course, black is gonna look good. Oh, that's so menacing. A red looks really good as. A red looks good with the black, especially with like a red pearlescent on it. But I think the green gets off-put a little bit, and it just makes it look a little awkward. Do yellow looks like piss right now. Like, I love do yellow, but it actually looks like piss with this color scheme. No, just doesn't go well together. I'm thinking I really like the crew color. I think we're gonna have to go with this like minty green. I don't know. I think both colors remain distinguished, and it just like eases itself into the car. For our pearlescent, I think we go something pretty nice here. Maybe like a straw brown. Oh, bleached brown. No, I like the straw brown. I think it's subtle. It suits the car quite nicely. It's got like a minty gloss on it now. I like it. I like it. For a secondary color, what is? Oh, right, that changes all of the little vents. Even the tire design on the side. Oh wow, I really don't know what to do with this. Black is pretty aggressive, but I think we should make it one of the other colors like red or green. I want something that's similar to the red that's already on the car. Our closest bet is probably candy red, so I think we're just gonna roll with that, and yeah, that looks pretty good. For our roll cage, there's a primary and a secondary roll cage. I do think that adds a nice level of detail that the car could use. I think it needs a little bit more red since the primary color is green, so we're gonna go with the secondary roll cage. For our roof, we could do a race scoop or a race roof scoop. Good question. I like it. At the same time, does it really need another roof scoop? Aren't these two roof scoops back there? I just think it throws the symmetry of the car off balance. Not like the symmetry, because it's symmetrical. What am I trying to say here? There's like two vents here. There's two vents here. It's just a lot of pairs, you know? This is a singular item, so I think we're gonna leave the roof scoop off. For skirts, we are, oh, that's a very good question. I would go with one of the colors, but I think it's odd that the front is black and the sides wouldn't be, so I think we just go with we just black it out. We could either go with the carbon racing skirt or the carbon street skirt. I think I like the carbon street skirt more. I don't know, this one kind of fits the shape of the front one more, how it seems like the splitter stops when it reaches the wheel and then just resumes afterwards, but the street skirt, it like stops in the splitter and then it like, I don't know, it kind of goes more inwards to the car, but it does suit the shape. I think I want to go with the street skirt for now. We can change that if we need to. For the spoiler, oh my goodness, I'm really excited actually, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good spoiler options. Of course, the classic Zentorno spoiler is the racing spoiler. That looks so cool. I almost want to try something different. Oh, it's got like the Tempesta spoiler. This is sick. I really like these wings actually. I think we're probably going to have to go with... Okay, there are a few options that I liked. I like the cruise spoiler secondary color. The racing spoiler is cool, but the whole point of this is to like use the new options, you know? The Pegassi wing, I'm actually digging quite a bit. I love the little twin, I don't know, pigtails. But then these just look way too good not to put on the vehicle. I would go with the elongated race wing, but it's really bothering me that it says Atomic on either side of, I don't know, the back vents. I don't know what these are called. And the spoiler's just coming straight out of the sticker. I think it looks terrible. So if anything, we would have to throw on the race wing. I think the vehicle is pretty aggressive looking as it is, so we're going to roll with the race wing. As much as I love the Pegassi wing, we're going to roll with the race wing. It suits everything that's going on a lot more, you know? For our sun strips, we can throw on a black one or a painted one. I like the painted one, actually. I like that it's branded. It looks really nice. Blends in perfectly with the roof. Transmission, we're going to max that out. Turbo, tuned, and then for our wheels, I do want to experiment with some wheels, even though the Zentorno rims, they look really good by default. Maybe a little outdated for the texture is my only issue, because I think the Zentorno it's a good looking car, and with updated textures and everything, I think it deserves upgraded rims as much as I like the painted tire. We got some Mercies, we got Segoys. Hyperfreshes don't look too bad. It needs something more like extravagant, you know, something that's like outwards, expands outwards. These are pretty good rims if they didn't have the chrome trim. Super Lexus don't look too bad either. I feel like it's not quite the Zentorno's rim. If I had the Forged Star, I would probably pick this one. Are Mercy concaves the way to go though? This is probably the one that I like the most right now, but I want something that's like all the way out. I'm thinking we do Trifade concaves. They check off all the boxes that I'm looking for. It's a rim with a lot of spokes. The spokes aren't too skinny. It's an expansive rim. And so I'm playing around with the colors right now. I don't really think black is the way to go. I'm thinking we can either do a white. White looks pretty good. There's a little bit of white on the car as well. Brings out that detail a little bit, but because it's kind of like a two-tone type of rim, it's not very overbearing. I'm thinking the other move is we can match the candy red, but I think the white looks a little better. I think it just enhances the color more. And then I guess the last one I was looking at was some sort of like goldish color. One of these, you know. Desert tan is quite nice. But there's no like tan on the vehicle, so I think it's a little out of place. I'm leaning more towards white right now, so I think that's what I'm gonna end up going with. Let me know what you guys think. Tire design, I very well could throw in a Fukuru red or like a Chappelle green, but I don't know. I just don't think the car needs that. I don't think it ever looks that good. Okay, low key, I can actually see the Chappelle green. Fukuru's a little bulky for the text. Chappelle? I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm low key digging it. I don't know. Nah, it looks too clean without it. I'm not gonna ruin the vehicle. Bulletproof tires and then tire smoke. We'll leave it. We could even go with red tire smoke, but I think that's a little too GTA-ish for me. For the tints, I think I'm gonna leave it untouched because I want the roll cage to stand out so that we can see the red on the interior of the vehicle. The very last thing is I think I'm gonna throw on a white. No, I don't want to throw on a white neon kit. Apparently neon kits improve handling, and this is like a race-ish Zentorno, but the Zentorno is not even a good racing vehicle anymore, so I think that's fine. We're just gonna leave it like that. I think the Zentorno looks sick. I'm so happy with this customization. Oh my god. Yeah, this is definitely the way to go. Okay, let's take it out. Hey, here's the sound test for you guys. Pretty old sounding vehicle. It doesn't mean it's a bad sound. It's just not anything we haven't heard before. Oh my god. It's so nice to be driving the Zentorno again. This was actually my first expensive purchase in GTA Online. It was the Zentorno, and I painted it like a spinnaker purple with some hot pink pearlescent, and then I did like blue for the secondary. It looks super cool. I'm sure you guys all know about the Zentorno already, but for those of you who maybe are newer to GTA and didn't get to live through the Zentorno era. The Zentorno used to be the fastest supercar in GTA Online just for a little bit. It's a very reliable vehicle, very consistent drive. It doesn't have any outstandingly bad performing characteristics or features. It's got a relatively good top speed. It's got relatively good handling and grip, that sort of thing. It's got decent acceleration as well. The only thing I think is a little finicky is like when you slam the brakes, I think the back end can kick out a tiny bit, and it makes the car feel like a little jerky, like it just snaps. I don't know, it's reached its limit and it snaps. That being said, the Zentorno is a fantastic drive, and not only is it a classic, it is a fan favorite as well for a very good reason. I'm so happy that they added more customization for this thing because it's super well deserved. If you guys are looking to grab one of these, you can find it under the two-door section of Legendary Motorsport for $725,000. Is this vehicle worth your money? 100%. $725,000 was a decent price back in the day. As you can see, all of the vehicles around it are, relatively cheap. The only vehicles that pass 300K out of these 9 that you can see on the screen right now are the Turismo and the Stinger Topless, aside from the Zentorno. So it was a decent price back in the day. Probably, if I had today's price tag, it would be like 2.2 million is my guess. But that's not something that Rockstar does. They don't change the prices of things once they're released into the game, unless it's to make it free, which the Zentorno is not. So for $725,000, I think you're getting a great bang for your buck. Very good package deal of a vehicle. Handles very well. It's more of a free mode driver than anything else, but it looks great. You're definitely going to get comments on it because people love the Zentorno, and it's got updated customization. I think it's worth every penny. That's going to wrap it up for this customization. Comment down below and let me know what you thought of my build. Sub to the channel if y'all are new. There will be more videos like this coming out in the very near future, and that's about it. So take care, and I'll catch you boys in the next one. Peace!